There's my new light switch, and let's see. We have lights. Howdy. All right, my next plan now is to get power to the bedroom. It's going to be a bedroom at some point. Well, initially it's going to be a bedroom and the dining room / second bedroom while we do downstairs only. Got my distribution board. I want to now get a plug socket and heating socket or heating outlets from that same spur in there first, coming out of here. My idea is to come out, cut a channel all the way down. I've already drilled a hole through the wall. That's I thought there was a bit of air coming through. Maybe it is. Through the wall that pops out to floor level because that floor is slightly higher. Pops out, can't talk today, pops out just above floor level. That side in the bedroom, and then have channeled out just underneath the skirting boards on the floor, on the wall, all the way to the first socket. So I'll come out here, go to that socket, come back to the next socket, then I'll go under the floor into the cellar, along, pop up for a socket in the dining room, spare bedroom, go down again into the cellar, round to the far corner where the cellar main door is, and pop up again and put another socket there. I'll have ideally thinking about infrared heating, so I'll have an outlet there for infrared heating there, and I'll have to have an outlet for infrared heating in the bedroom. No one there, it's just a breeze. Next out the containment for the plugs to go into the dining room. But then I thought about, what about the plugs in the lounge? So I'm gonna probably go further down. No, I thought of that at first. I'm thinking about, where's my camera? I'm gonna go up and across. Oh, hang on. I should actually do the other camera, it'll be easier. Let me switch over. All right, now switched over. Makes life a lot easier than trying to point backwards and those silly things. So again, that's the cable I chased down to go through the wall. Then I thought about the plugs in the lounge. So either I go continue down as a separate feed and then go under the doorway, but this is obviously an old door, it might get replaced. I could probably still chase out the bottom and run along the bottom to have maybe a socket and a socket there, and then sockets there and potentially a socket there. This might have a TV or something there, and this is going to be bricked up, so I can have a cable going across, and a sofa and whatever can go there. I'm not going to put a socket that side. It could be just a table if you have a little seating area, but then obviously got the cellar access down there, which is, oh, that's a creaky floor. So either I go low level and just keep it all low, or I chase out above the door. Obviously there might be a lintel there, so I'll be where that little green line is. Where that green line is previous trunking to the old wiring. So I could do just below it where I've done my little corner piece, continue across, then I can tap into the current light switch. So that means I can run my light circuit here. And then I've got some wireways which go up. So the white cable, that mysterious white cable, that's one that goes upstairs to feed the house there. There's also these, which must be a outside light switch. That's why there's 3 cables. There's a double pole switch. So you have a switch here for the outside light, and then upstairs to switch it on and off. If I yank on these cables, you can see them moving in that one, which goes straight up. And then light switch for inside the lounge, which I have these cables that would be for that piece. So I can at least tap in and add a lighting circuit here, and then twin wire upstairs. So if I go outside now, oh, first time I hit my head today. There is, oh, you can't really see it, but there is a light up there on the corner, just under the eaves. And if I go upstairs, there's the other fuse box for upstairs. But I'm now going to expose that sort of cableway. There's another one there, and there's another one there. We might be this one, thinking about where we're in position-wise underneath. Obviously, that one there is catering for these switches. There's two here, so I'm guessing that one of these is going to be for outside, and one of these will be for inside. I suspect this is the outside because it's closer to the outside. That normally makes sense, but wow, it's a twist. Oh, hang on, there was a twist downstairs. So maybe that was the outside. That's your double pole switch. All right, so I need to take those panels off, trace those cables, and then if it's a nice wire way and it's loose, I can pull new cable, and then I'm going to figure out how it gets to there. So I can replace that light with something a bit better, and that obviously will highlight your whole entranceway, which is good. This actually got quite a nice viewpoint, other than, you know, a bit of vertigo and looking down there. It's a long way down. That's why we want to build this up as well, so as much as a drop. There's no handles there. But this is a lovely outlook from here. Oh, the camera's tracking on something there. Don't push the buttons, Graham. The gimbal likes to do its own thing. But there we are. This long pole, I'm not sure what it was used for. I was thinking maybe it was an antenna, but then it had to be a cross brace or something because it's a bit wobbly. You can't really have a TV antenna there. But most of their stuff came by a cable delivery, because I had to cut that one off. It came to the house. It's going to be one of these cables, or not. That's a flat, that's like a telephone wire maybe. Yeah, okay. I will do some investigating and try and find that cableway and pull it. All right, where's my tools? I don't have my pop-up. Oh, screw it on. Screw you, man. It's the first one that's screwed on. Let's try and get it off. Oh yeah. Wow. Who needs a screwdriver? It's a piece of plastic. Hello. I should have my pop-up. Oh, my little steps make life a lot easier. Oh, that's good looking anyway. Goodbye. Oh, what have we got? What? We got cables are here now. Ay. Come out. Come out. Oh, goodness me. That is a proper wig. Jingos. Alright, have a look at this. So that's obviously one joint. They just take the solid cores and twist them up and then wrap it. This has actually got insulation tape compared to the old ones had like a fiber tape. This is something slightly more modern. Yeah, that one goes up, which probably is just a conduit going across there. Oh, hang on, there's another one going across, so that one might go there. And I'm going to guess there's, without me seeing, that the one that goes to the right, that one, I'm going to guess goes to the outside light, because that's the new socket there. Although, well, you've got the socket, again, lovely height, but then there's an access panel, so that's going to feed there. So, well, this is the outside double pole switch. So yank those off, and then there is a vertical drop going down, and there's 3 cables, which we had 3 cores from downstairs on the outside switch. She's confirming it. One's a solid run all the way up. That'll be your live bus. And your other one is going to be your switch live to your light. And then obviously the light will come back to your negative, or your neutral, not negative, it's AC. All right, that's good to know. That's just going to be a internal light which goes to the upper core and there. All right, so easy to do that light. I just need to get power from that side across now, not from here, but that figures it out. Yay!
Hello. That's a really useful piece of kit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit warm. It's a bit hot. Move there. This is a dirty job.
Yeah.
There's your old conduit. Going across that I thought. Which we're not going to use. But we'll pick up that one that comes down. We'll use that one. Definitely mask weather, or mask work.
Yeah. All the dust.
Yeah. Let's see the beam for
Door frame.
Vertical drop for the doorway. Oh, good. Break it out. Not all of you. Just a piece. And less for fix. There we are. There's your conduit. Ooh. Okay, that is the chasing out. That's the previous one, going down to bedroomy areas through the wall. That's the new one, which will be plugs and lights going across. Elbow up to the lighting runs, and those will come back down in conduit to the switches. And then I'll continue down there and across to the first socket. I still have to chase all the way around, but that's enough chasing for now. At least I can get power cable to the first socket, and then we can actually have power in this room if we want, if I get that far. There we are. Now for the dust to settle. Well, first clean up the mess. That must be the easiest materials to use to dig and chase a wall out. You know, concrete or brick, that's SDS drill, the chisel, and it's a hell of a lot of work. This multi-tool, and there's a multi-tool. Done a good work for the cheap Aldi tool, and cut through the mud bricky straw stuff. We'll pin the cables in and then just cement over, and then it'll be gone. You won't even know it's there. That's the idea. Okay, clean up time. So, a little update. What we've currently done is pulled in the initial lighting circuit from the board to the sort of wireway joint. There's one of the cables. I'll add another one to actually get to the first light, but that's your incoming feed. I'll add another one to the first switch, of course, and then to your second switch, which is outside. That's a double pole. Then the second cable you can see there, it goes all the way back. Sorry, it actually goes through the previous conduit. Even have written on their bedroom lights. That then goes through and pops out here. And that's our join point there for the lights in this side of the property. That cable there goes to a switch, and I've got some other cables I can pull for draw wires to the other room. And then I'll have to come across here to the old cables. I think that goes to the ceiling rows in the room. Then power cables from the box down out the wall, through the wall kind of thing, and then goes all the way to there. That's our first plug point. Join there, and goes back to your second plug point. Then from there, that's why there's two cables. That's your second plug point, and then from that one goes under into the cellar, and then pops up here. There's your plug socket in here. Then it goes down again. It'll then go under the cellar, along the wall, and then pop up through the little hole in the floor there. Haven't pulled those cables through because I need to get some cable tacks to hold all those cables in place at the right length before I pull them through and cut the excess so I don't waste cables. Then we will go to the shops again and buy some more cable, and I will run a second plug feed up, down that trunking. And actually I might not do it this time around. We'll wait until we strip this whole flooring and get that wall built in, then having the cables dangling there. But the intention is to have a cable down there, that's a plug, and then I will have to chase the wall out all the way, put another plug in the corner for a lamp or something there, chase it through. This will be bricked up, so then I'll chase through there and all the way, another plug point there for a TV and those kind of things, and chase through again and put another point over there for vacuum cleaner or whatever I need. There we go. Good morning for me, and whenever it is for you. My little objective for this morning is to now tack my new cables on the ceiling line all the way. So this is above this hole in the cellar at the moment. Let's take my mask off so you can hear it better. We are below the dining room where I have my cables. So I'm now going to tack it all in along down this end, chop out this old cable and tack my new one in all the way to the corner. Here's my cable just pre-hanging, and I have a hole drilled up there already, which I'll then poke it up when it's all tacked in, and then chop off the excess. And I'll have to think about a light circuit down here at some point. When I do lighting feeds in the dining room, I'll also have to drop it down and take it from here. Yes, okay, here we go. Update time. So the house that keeps on giving, we are going to have to chop up this whole floor and rebar it and concrete it, because this is hollow underneath. There's no reinforcement. There's old metal work that's rusty and in bad state, so they're going to have to now jackhammer this all out, assess there how bad it is there. We're not really sure, but it could be the case of this all comes out and it gets redone. Also, that has to come out anyway, and that gets redone with rebar and concrete. Just really pull it together. There's the toilet loop, so where the toilet's going to go and goes out, and then another pipe work for the washing machine. That's going to be here, and a sink. And then we're going to have a sink in there. And I think they're still putting a typical drain in the floor in case there's any water or drains. It's a sort of a European thing. That's in here. Been doing a bit more electrics, so I've now wired up the or thrown some earths in. I really want to get this house earthed, so I'll have to try and get a stake in the ground and then bring earth in. So I've got some earth cables to then terminate the box. All the breakers are RCBOs, but they're only live neutral, so I don't know why there's no earth, but how it works here. Then I've got my lighting circuit. I've got my Wegos just to connect up to get my circuit back into the side of the house, and installed a light. Obviously it's a low ceiling, so a flush mount light is going to be best. I have not terminated or connected these ones. This is eventually, if we do it, have a double pole switch for here and here, so you can switch a light on either side because you've got two doors, and a switch this side for the outside light. So those are the feeds there. And then again, more Wegos and joins to connect all the cables. The spare cables that go to the other side are just coiled up and pushed up out the way for when I want to do it, then I can tap in. They came across. This is the incoming feed that gets my power to my switch and to my light, and across to the other side. So let's try a light switch and see if it works. There's my new light switch, and let's see. We have lights. Look at that. Let's try the other one. What do you think, Bettina?
Let they do that.
Hey, got two working lights. Look at that. All that effort to get cables over the way. You can see all my patchwork holes. I've had to cut squares into the ceiling. There's another one here and another one there. And obviously that one's still open. The actual piece is still in there. So when I want to put a block of wood across and then fix it in, it's all ready for it. And then we can, well, there's enough slack on the cable so I can drop this light right down to then patch up and repair and paint the ceiling and then put the light back up again. And there we are. Update. We might keep the dirt around the switch. Keeps it authentic. Looks like it's been there forever. Well, it has been here forever. 100 years. All right. That's it. Goodbye.